Grab your snacks, grab your drinks. We are going to close the bar for a little bit during our presentation. Those drinks down. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here this evening, and welcome to the Spring 2022 DivInc Social Justice Innovation Demo Day. I'd like to take a few moments to thank the partners that make this program possible. Thank you to our title sponsor, Ascension Seton, JP Morgan Chase, Visible, Verizon, and a special shout out to Bank of America. Their generous donations made it possible for us to award a $10,000 grant to each of the companies that participated in this accelerator. I'd also like to thank our community sponsors, Indeed and Amazing Entertainment. I'm excited to have y'all celebrating with us tonight, celebrating these 6 wonderful companies who have just completed our Accelerator program. Over the last 12 weeks, I've had the opportunity to work with 8 co-founders who have all built their businesses to address the inequities in our world, from addressing gender and racial bias in the workplace to protecting the privacy and security of journalists in war-torn countries. These companies have truly gone above and beyond in such a short amount of time, and I'm so proud.
Yeah.
I'm incredibly lucky to be supported by an amazing team here in Austin, and we're supported by our board of directors seen here. I'm also excited to introduce to y'all this evening a man who without this evening would not be possible at all. Please help me give a warm welcome to our CEO and co-founder, Preston James.
What's happening, Austin? Woo! Let's try that again. What's happening, Austin? So I'm so excited to be here. It's been such a long time since we've been together, face to face, in person, and I'm just really excited about, just another demo day, another showcase, another just bringing the community together to really just sort of take us up to the next level of what we're going to do in terms of building inclusivity within the ecosystem. And from the very, very beginning, our whole goal in life, and I do want to say, Dana's here with me tonight, so one of my co-founders here, DivInc. Let's give a round of applause. Our whole goal in life is to basically remove these barriers that underrepresented founders face in the ecosystem. And by removing those barriers, we can generate social economic equity through entrepreneurship. And I was sharing a story with people when I first started. I couldn't really talk about the long tail result that we were really trying to get to as well. Right? It's about community, it's about the culture, and it's also about how do we address the racial and gender wealth gap in our society. Right? And so for what we want to do is through this inclusivity, through this collaboration, through creating empathy, right, in our mission is that we want to be able to create these opportunities, access to resources to drive that equity, right, and drive that racial and gender wealth gap down, right? We want to close that. But it's only through this collaboration, it's only through this connectivity, it's only through us working together that we can actually accomplish that. So it really gives me great pride to see everyone here together from different organizations, from different groups coming together to make this happen. So I'm really excited to be here. As we're moving forward, let's make sure we stay connected. I've encouraged the founders. I have several alumni here tonight. So alumni of DivInc, if you can just raise, some of you raise your hands. The beauty of alumni is, and I'm not afraid to say this, the beauty of alumni is that when they finish and they go do their thing, whether they continue or they don't, they come back actually smarter than us. Right? They know so much more, they built their networks, and many of them are actually advisors in different ways. They don't even know this, but they're advisors to me, right? And helping us make DivInc even better as we move into the future. And so it's just so overwhelming emotion and surreal for me that DivInc is going on 6 years, Dana. It's going on 6 years. And all the partnerships that we built, all the partnerships and the growth, we've even expanded into Houston. And a lot of people ask me, like, is there more to come? And y'all know me. Y'all know me. There's more to come, right? But I need your help. Are y'all gonna be with me? So all said and done, I'm just gonna get out of the way. If I haven't met you, and I'm saying this in all sincerity, and I know I can be busy when I'm sitting up on the wall and people are coming up, but in all sincerity, if I haven't met you, please come and say hello. Introduce yourself, right? Because the network is the power of DivInc. This network and this community is what makes DivInc grow. This culture that we have is what makes us grow, right? So without further ado, let's get on with this project. Y'all ready for the project?
All right, y'all. I realized I was so excited to introduce all these founders, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Alyssa Padron. I am the Austin Program Director. I feel lucky enough that I know a lot of the faces in the crowd. To the familiar faces, thank y'all so much for being here. To the unfamiliar faces, welcome in. Welcome to the family. We're glad to have you here. All right, y'all. So we're about to get started with some pitches. Here's how it's going to go. Every founder is going to get introduced by a mentor they've been working with over the past 3 months. We'll hear 3 pitches and then have a short break to hear from our sponsor, Ascension Seating, and then we'll get into it with our final 3 pitches. So please help me give a warm welcome all the way up to the stage, our first mentor, Norma Padron.
So hi everyone, and thank you so much to DivInc for letting me be part of this, a small part of this program. It's been fantastic to be working with Mariah in the last 3 months. My name is Norma Padron. I'm a health economist and I've been working in healthcare for the last 12 years. I've been working across academia, nonprofit, and private sector. And unfortunately, the healthcare industry hasn't been valuing the public health workforce the way it should. It hasn't been front and center the way it should. And so I think in the last 2 years, we've certainly learned how important that is. So that's why I'm so excited to introduce today Mariah from Investible Strengths, a company that is focused on strengthening the public health workforce, creating a welcoming and inclusive environment for those working in public health. Mariah is an author, a certified health education specialist, DEI consultant, and researcher who has been working in public health for over a decade. She's also a blast to hang out with. I learn so much from her every week, so please give it up for Investible Strengths.
to close their eyes briefly. Imagine you woke up for work tomorrow and this is all that you could see. You would think about how you would do your job without your vision and how you would need to talk to your HR manager, your direct manager, and your organization as a whole to get some different supports for yourself with this new identity. You can open your eyes now. 4 years ago, that was my reality. I was diagnosed with keratoconus and had to have 3 emergency eye surgeries. And as a compliance officer, it was difficult to see the details for me. And I thought I was alone. It was a very isolating experience in which I had to talk to HR, my manager, constantly disclose, and we were both frustrated with not knowing exactly how to provide me the accommodations I needed. But it turns out 1 in 4 of your employees actually have a chronic condition or a disability, or 25% of the US working population. And there's not currently a seamless accommodation process for them to request what they need so that they can be more engaged, more efficient, and have more return on investment for your business. And according to research, we would see an increase in the GDP by $25 billion if just 1% of the population with disabilities was able to join the workforce. And even if none of these stats matter to you, if you're like me, you plan on getting older, and as we age, our mobility and our cognition will change. So disability is actually the minority group that will all enter at some point in our lives in working professional careers. And so futuristic and progressive employers are already thinking about how to support the aging workforce. Enter Invisible Strengths. We're a double-sided platform that connects inclusive work environments to an untapped and diverse talent pool by walking them through how to build capacity around providing accommodations to their current work employees and also to the future applicants. For employers, this looks like you uploading the job onto our application and then being able to select from the top 86 accommodations that the market is currently providing to select what makes the most sense for your particular role. And these accommodations can vary from providing a fidget spinner to an ergonomic chair to flexible scheduling and even professional coaching. And if you're not sure, don't worry. We have market research that will provide you with the suggested accommodations that you may need. Additionally, we have an asynchronous learning platform that can provide trainings on everything from how to support the neurodiverse at work to how to engage your BIPOC employees. For the job seekers, we offer a professional networking platform that also has the opportunity for you to engage on the social networking side of joining groups with those with shared identities so that no one has to experience the isolating things that I did. If you just got diagnosed with postpartum depression yesterday, you can find someone who's 10 years down the road with that experience to learn and leverage the knowledge they already have around accommodations that they've been able to utilize in their professional experience. In the vertical right now, there's chronically capable and inclusivity, both of which in the last 3 years have been able to raise over $1 million in venture capital. This validates the market. And what sets us apart are 3 specific things. 1, we're focused on providing this service to start out for the Division of Healthcare and Public Health, where I've spent the last 11 years of my career working for organizations like Center for Disease Control and Peace Corps. Secondly, we're also going to focus on those with invisible disabilities, which at my company, we see it as invisible strengths. And lastly, we're focused on those from diverse backgrounds who may have multiple marginalized identities. And we're focused on the public health workforce because we've seen 14% growth in the last 2 years. This has largely been because of the pandemic. And most industries have only seen 5% growth, according to the Department of Labor. Now, just last year, the White House poured $7.4 billion into the creation of new jobs and the retention of current employees for the public health workforce. And Invisible Strengths plans to support that effort. We're doing this through a SaaS B2B model where employers pay $2,000 per year to have access to posting 5 jobs per month on our application, with the opportunity to tier and scale through our volume pricing for other features or additional postings. On the other side of our platform, the job seekers are able to be supported through our advertising to have a freemium model, but they can upgrade if they'd like to access additional features. Our go-to-market strategy is to focus on our early adopters, medium-sized organizations working on health equity today that have currently gone through a restructuring of their strategy or strategic plan, and they want to center diversity, equity, accessibility, and inclusion. And so we're partnering and targeting those HR executives, those people and culture executives within these organizations that are already looking for these HR tools to assist with getting access to diverse pipelines of candidates. We're partnering with organizations such as Center for Disease Control as they've launched several programs to diversify the field, and also the American Public Health Association, which is the largest membership organization in the US for public health orgs as well as individuals. I have a stellar team of sheroes behind me. We have a 40 years combined experience, and we're serial entrepreneurs. This is my Chief Design Officer's third startup, and we have experience spanning across healthcare, diversity, equity, accessibility, and inclusion, user experience, and full stack development. We've got some amazing advisors from NAACP and also from Johns Hopkins University. What I'd like to ask you guys to do today is reach out if you have any information on getting in touch with HR executives at organizations working on health equity. We plan on launching our paid pilot with 10 organizations and 100 job seekers in the next 2 months. And please scan this QR code to get involved and really understand how Invisible Strengths is ushering in the future of work, which is most definitely accessible. We launched this website yesterday, and I'd love you to try to crash us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariah. I'm excited to introduce, please give a warm welcome all the way up to the stage, our next mentor, Chad Modad.
Thank you. So during drawing run, I totally botched it, so we'll see if we can do a much better job for you guys this time. So when I had the opportunity to read the brief for the Whisper Company, I was like, sounds interesting, but let me meet the team. And I had the opportunity to meet Benito and Alejandro, and I was absolutely blown away. I was blown away by their origin story. I was blown away by their mission to create a more secure and trusted digital world. I was blown away by the technology and by them as a team. So as a startup, they've got a lot of the elements that I think a startup really needs to be successful. They're solving a real problem that's worth solving, digital privacy in our digital world today. They have intellectual property that's patented. So if you familiar with the term quantum resistant technology and encryption, if you don't know what that means, I'm gonna talk to the team, right? They'll tell you all about it. And they also have a product that's ready to go to market. That with a strong team that has startup experience, I think they're ready to go. So much so that I drove all the way from Houston to present for them today.
How are y'all doing? So I'm going to start off by telling you guys something you might not know. In Venezuela, you have the ability to have a cop stop you, pull out your phone, put it up to your face, and get access to your information. And for someone like Manuel, there's an issue there. He works for the opposition government. So for him to be safe, he needs to hide in the Chilean embassy. And why does this matter to me? Because Manuel's my cousin. And for me being a product guy, I'm a product guy.
My people are fixing.
Yeah, right. So for me being a product guy, I wanted to dig deeper into this issue of privacy. And I was really astonished. Okay. I was really astonished by the statistics for privacy. That 90% of respondents in a recent study said they care about privacy. 80% said that it's a buying factor, and 50% of people have changed their providers based on privacy. That's right, 50%. No wonder why Apple and Google are doing campaigns centered around privacy. So I wondered, what are the incumbent technologies? And when I saw them, I was really underwhelmed. Multi-factor authentication. They send 6 digits to whoever's in front of the device, not you. And automatic timeout. You're vulnerable until that timeout. And it's a headache. How many times have you gotten logged out and been like, oh, I have to log back in? What a headache. That's when I had the idea. Why not authenticate persistently? My CTO here, Benito, we did our due diligence and we said, there's really nothing out there like that. So once we dug deeper into it, we wondered, how would that look like? Well, here's an example. You have standard privacy. You hear multi-factor authentication. You get logged in. What happens if someone's over your shoulder? What happens if you walk away from your device? What happens if someone takes your spot? It stays unlocked. Well, that's like the definition of not privacy. So let's see what this looks like. Oh, that's privacy. And that's our proprietary persistent user authentication, or PUA for short. What it does is it instantly checks. And the moment that you and only you are not in front of your device, it locks you out. It keeps it safe. It keeps it encrypted. What we call it is eyes-only privacy. Now, who's in this space? Competitors are access management, like I talked about, multi-factor authentication, but they focus on access, getting in. What we do is we do it persistently throughout the session. And we focus on the last mile, that human-machine interface, the human and their device. That's what we secure, which separates us from them and gives us the ability to even partner with them. Now, the global security spend is $262 billion. It's huge. But our share of market that we want to attain is 5% of US spend, which is $2 billion. Now, how do we bring it to market? We have a B2B API license. We're doing it for developers in either SDK or SDK to either their native apps on mobile or desktop. And we do volume pricing. And after doing customer discovery, because we started with the technology officers, they have a long list of stuff to do. And then we started with CEOs of bigger enterprises. We ended up following that these are our two key targets. C-suites and founders for Series A, smaller businesses, and then product leaders for big enterprises. Now this, FinTech, a high-trust environment that focuses on API, early tech integrators, that was our target market. We got 2 MOUs, that's exciting. We even talked to a Fortune 100 company that was really interested. Unfortunately, we got backlogged. And the more exciting part is that this is a high-trust environment. When we started looking at other high-trust environments, we started getting inbound from legal tech, gov tech, and some even health tech that want to sign MOUs for us. So we're really excited to get this technology in our hands. Now this is called Invisible Ink. And all those markets I showed you, this is one we did not mention. And that's because this is for Manuel. This is for the civil rights, this is for the human rights, this is for journalists. This is for the people that can communicate with peace of mind, that their communication is theirs. And we use this and we call it an eyes-only privacy communication. Because for you to be able to send or receive, you have to be the authenticated user in front of the device. And with 4.9, almost 5, with 4.9 stars in the App Store, with 1,000 downloads, and with promising opportunities to partner with NGOs, we hope that this will be the platform, like Signal, for secure communication above anything else in the marketplace. And talking about human rights activists, talking about journalists, talking about Manuel. Manuel is safe. He was able to escape after he took refuge in the Chilean embassy, escaped through the Colombian border, and now he's safe in the US, and he is a user of Invisible Ink. So there you go, there's one. So our team is uniquely designed, ready, and eager to solve this problem with our 60+ years of experience in quantum-resistant encryption, cybersecurity, AI, and biometrics, and we have a fantastic group of advisors that are backing us throughout the journey. And we've got some great funding through the Center of Identity, I-Corps, SDIR, and we've been through some great accelerators, including DivInc, and had a great partnership with Capital Factory. But what we're really excited for is the amount of interest we've gained, the community we've built, and the momentum that we're taking with us to build the Whisper Company. So if you're interested, please reach out to me. There's a QR code. We also have QR codes back there. So reach out to me if you're interested in partnering with us for our technology, using Invisible Ink if you're an NGO, or personally using Invisible Ink. Thank you so much, and please stay safe.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks so much, Preston and Brooke, for helping us get here. I'm here to introduce Toshe Ayo. I met Toshe last fall when she was part of 2GI and Accelerator with support for Google for Startups. So she was one of 16 successful candidates out of a cohort of 300. And from the onset, she showed a high drive, willingness to learn and grow as she kicked off our founders. And since then, it's been a pleasure to watch her as she keeps learning and growing in trying to build a company with high integrity, which is tackling one of society's very difficult problems. So without further ado, please help me welcome Toshe.
All right, everyone. We're going to start by playing a quick game. If you're able to, put your hand up and follow the prompts. Put a finger down if you desire a more diverse work environment. Put a finger down if you've ever read a job description that made you want to quit before even starting. Now, put your hand down if you know that your company has ever evaluated its job postings as a source of its diversity challenges. Now, there are still quite a few hands up, and that is because many of us aren't fully aware of just how powerful language is. You can put your hand down now. Language, specifically biased and exclusionary terms, are a significant yet overlooked contributor to a lack of diversity in the workforce. The language that we use can actually deter marginalized groups from applying for roles and perpetuate institutional inequality. For example, research studies have found that the use of words like challenge and dominant in job descriptions, which are associated with gender stereotypes about men, lead to women applying for those roles at a much lower rate. Our own research studies have found that BIPOC individuals are less likely to apply for roles if the job description is filled with certain biased and exclusionary themes. To top it off, the business implications are vast. Job descriptions that contain biased language receive 30% fewer applicants. They increase recruitment costs by 29% and increase time to hire by 2 weeks. In case you didn't recognize the magnitude of what I just said, let me summarize it for you. Companies will see an increase in the volume, quality, and demographic mix of their applicant pools, and a reduction in time to hire and recruitment costs just by changing a few words. So my team and I decided to address this issue first by creating our MVP, which was a product that eliminated gender biased language recruitment material and ultimately took the guesswork out of being unbiased. Our product won 2U's national next level competition against 50 nominated teams and 3 finalist teams. We've been featured in Fortune and NASDAQ and a number of different publications and had over 115 monthly active users. We've since expanded our product, and doing so has led us to pioneer our own research studies. The first one being an exploration of race-based, inclusive, and exclusive language and recruitment material. Our product now scans job ads and highlights coded language. It provides the user with a breakdown of how gender biased, racially exclusive, and overall inclusive their job description is. It educates them on the impact the language that is being highlighted may have on job seekers, and provides them with replacement word suggestions. Finally, it gives them tips on how to infuse inclusive themes into their job ads. We are are the only product in the market that conducts psychological research to support our language recommendations and are the best cost-effective solution out there. Unlike our competitors, we also address unconscious bias, we are data-driven, and we take on an educational approach. Since the start of the Accelerator, we've had over 154 beta tests and account signups. We are running 3 pilots and have 4 paying customers. These companies have a combined value of $18.3 billion. Our volume-based subscription model allows us to accommodate our different customer segments. We've seen a lot of inbound interest from small and medium-sized businesses who want to write inclusively and do so in an affordable way. Our pricing model allows us to accommodate a significant amount of that market while also having a option that larger companies can still benefit from. Because our product addresses problems within the DEI and talent acquisition spaces, our market opportunity is huge. Both markets are expected to increase significantly within the next 4 years. My team and I have over 15 years of experience in data science, software development, finance, strategy, digital marketing, and information technology. We are supported by our advisors, Danielle Boucher, who wrote the research paper that engendered the entire anti-bias tech industry, and Eugenia Gonzalez, who has over 20 years of experience in talent acquisition. So we have a number of plans in our pipeline, and if you would like to be a part of our growth, email me to become a pilot partner, visit our website to become a customer, or talk to me after if you can introduce us to different DEI and talent acquisition professionals. Thank you.
Thank you, Tosha. Here at DivInc, our partners and sponsors are truly what makes our entire program possible. So we were thrilled to partner with Ascension Seating Texas for our Social Justice Innovation Program. Their focus on health equity was a perfect match for this program in 2022. Here to talk more about our partnership is Kate Henderson from Ascension Seating Texas.
Good evening. It is so great to be here with all of you. Thank you to our first 3 founders to present an amazing job. Really delighted to be here with the other founders, all of my fellow investors, supporters, mentors. Great energy, great innovation, great change making, and great impact, because I know that's why we're all here. So thank you for that. As introduced, my name is Kate Henderson. I work for Ascension Texas in the capacity of one of our regional hospital presidents and with leadership roles for strategic community partnerships. So at Ascension Texas, we know that none of us accomplishes our work alone, but rather we do it together, and that together we can make a much greater impact on our community. And so that's just another reason why it is so fun to be here tonight. So there's a proverb that I often share, and you may have heard it. If you like to go fast, go alone. If you'd like to go far, go together, which I think really underscores the importance of partnerships and the collective impact that we can make on our communities. So at Ascension Texas, when we looked at partnerships, we very intentionally chose to partner with DivInc because of DivInc's commitment to social justice. And we were also drawn to DivInc's incredible focus, and I would say experience on using partnerships to do just that. Additionally, we found that our missions are aligned, that we're both called to make an incredible impact in bringing equity to the communities we serve. So the Social Justice Innovation Program is very well aligned with my organization's framework called ABIDE. It stands for Appreciation, Belonging, Inclusivity, Diversity, and Equity. And that's the lens we use in our meetings and in all of our work to continuously ask ourselves the question, are we living out our mission in our work, in our words, and in our actions? We see Abide as the framework for us to further our commitment to equity in light of the injustices that occur in society and the communities that we live in. And I have to tell you that working with DivInc has been rewarding because, importantly, it's given us the opportunity to form relationships, and we have learned a lot from DivInc. Now, we've certainly contributed, but the reality is the gift has been all ours, because it's through working with each of you that we've really opened up our lens and have seen a different way of thinking about and interacting with our community. So thank you. Ascension, Texas is also really concerned about the community. In fact, we do a lot of work trying to address the complexity of healthcare needs in our community. We're dedicated to the transformation of healthcare. If any of you had a healthcare experience recently, you'll probably notice many words that Preston did not use. It's not about connection, it's often about disconnection, right? It's often not about equity, but it's about inequity. And so I can't tell you that Ascension, Texas has it all figured out, but I can tell you that we are fiercely dedicated to making change in all of that. And we see partnerships, and certainly our partnership with DivInc is an important part of doing that. So we look forward to continuing our relationship with DivInc because we know that through partnerships, we can, in fact, go far if we go together. So thank you to all of you for being here, and thanks for all the work that all of you do. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Kate. All right, y'all, we're halfway through. We've got 3 more pitches to go. I'm so excited for us to keep on going through. Please help me give a warm welcome to our next mentor, Brooke Turner.
Thank you, Alyssa. Thank you all for giving a big shout out to Kate Henderson and the Ascension Seton, Texas team. If you want to know what it looks like to really drive a strategic initiative within an organization, to find a core aligned and mission aligned organization to partner with, and then do the work to see it come to fruition, please talk to Kate after. We're so appreciative of all the work you've done. I'm Brooke Turner, the VP of Programs for DivInc, and I cannot be more proud of Alyssa. I'm going to give a quick shout out to our program director in Austin. It's literally possible without her. And I know that Lawrence doesn't mind me using up some of his time to give some love. Speaking of he's gonna come up here and show me how it's done. So speaking of our next presenter, our next company, I have the honor to work with this amazing team. And the special thing that I see happening with Lawrence and his team is that they came to DivInc because they started a successful nonprofit, and they saw that the opportunity and the need was so large that they needed to do something different. They needed to create a for-profit social impact enterprise that would allow them to make their impact while building generational wealth, making more jobs, and really going after that market. And so that's another huge part of what we do at DivInc. And so I'm so proud to welcome Lawrence Humphrey. Come on up.
Thank you, Brooke. Hello, everyone. These past couple of years, we've all been forced to pause and reflect. We have all been forced to pause and reflect. And as leaders in the workplace, we found ourselves reflecting on a couple of questions. How in this new hybrid environment do I keep my teams aligned? And if one of my all-stars is now grieving and underperforming, what do I do? And do I even like my job? Do I like my manager? Do I like what I'm doing? Last year, 48 million people said they didn't, so they left. This guy looks like he's thinking about leaving. And this cost U.S. businesses over $500 billion last year. But when we begin to unpack it and interrogate it, we shouldn't be all that surprised. Let me explain. We talked to hundreds of knowledge workers and leaders in the industry, and we found that 3 out of 4 cited interpersonal challenges as the most difficult parts of their job. And when they have a problem that they want to have solved, they go to people they trust first. But assuming they have the network, they don't always get the answers they need when they need them. So they do as many of us do, they go online, where they have to sift through disparate, disorganized pieces of information from people of unknown credibility. In short, there isn't a go-to solution for solving leaders' hardest problems in the workplace. And this leads to expected results. A decrease in productivity, missed deadlines, decrease in employee engagement and time and satisfaction, and the record-breaking attrition that we saw last year. But on a personal level, leaders feel frustrated, they feel burnt out, they feel unsupported and unable to bring their best selves to work for their teams and their companies. And that's what Pearl is here to solve. Pearl is an online community where diverse leaders offer their processes to nuanced interpersonal problems. You can think of us like a GitHub, but more user-friendly to non-technical people, like a Quora, but more structured and specialized, and like your own networks, except when you have a question at 2 a.m., we have an answer for you. Pearl is a place where you can see how your industry peers are getting things done. Everything from finding and hiring diverse candidates for your team, to finding a one-on-one cadence that works in this new hybrid environment, to just how to get the best use out of the management tools you're already using every day. And it does so by moving beyond the conceptual headline solutions and offers very practical step-by-step solutions known to work for other leaders and managers in the field. And to the extent the platform doesn't offer the answers you need, you can ask a question and target it only to the people that understand by personal and company context. In coming into DivInc, we, as Brooke mentioned, started with just an idea, and we moved through ideation, concept testing, and usability testing for our product. And I'm happy to say we now have 250 people, or over 250 people in our pipeline, have conducted 40 customer interviews, and of the people that we showed our prototype to, over 85% of people said they would use this today. The numbers have updated. Thank you. So we're a freemium B2C SaaS model, where the key difference between the tiers you're seeing for the people in the back are the extent to which you can collaborate with your peers, view other solutions on our platform per month, and actually have a private place for you to store your own processes. Anyone can use it for free and upgrade as they see fit and as it adds value. We plan on rolling this out to pre-existing communities already sharing their pearls of wisdom. And we plan to have our first 1,000 paid customers by having 2 3-month pilot programs, where we expect to learn 3 things. The first, how can we incentivize people to share their processes and solutions on our platform? The second, how can we make those solutions as digestible and actionable as possible to the people searching for them? And third, to what extent are we moving the needle in terms of time to task and feelings of support for our leaders on the platform? I will love to brag about my team, and I'm glad I can do this right now. So I have a deep product experience in product management, design, and development, where for the past 5 years at IBM, I've especially honed my skills for design thinking and iterating quickly and in a human-centered way. My lovely co-founder over here has a very deep instruction design, content strategy, and marketing, and can build a rich funnel and tap into our customer segment online. And our advisors, again, many of whom are watching right now, lend their business and technical expertise and ensure that we're tackling the right problem for the right users. And we can use your help. For everyone here, you are acknowledging that the status quo isn't working for our leaders. And we need a more human and we need a more equitable workplace. So I want to see all of you join our platform and send the questions that give you pause at 2 a.m. and encourage the same for your trusted network and peers. And if you believe, as I do, that the workplace should become a more human place, I look forward to connecting with you out here afterwards and online for the people watching. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. I'm so excited to introduce our next mentor. She has a really special place in DivInc as an alumni of the program. Please help me give a warm welcome to Lori Felker-Jones.
Hi everyone, good evening. I'm glad I'm not up here pitching tonight. I have the great pleasure and privilege of introducing the next great company in this cohort. But before I do that, I want to say a few words about DivInc. And actually, it's more than a few. They gave me a little bit of time, and I'm taking a lot. So it's part of the story, actually, to introduce this next company to presence why we're all here tonight. Because DivInc gives us a place to remember where we came from and where it is to know who we are and what we can best be challenged to do. Some of you may know that I'm an alum of DivInc, and I came to DivInc from the social justice world. And I came as an accomplished political strategist who would help elect more than 40 progressive women to office in Texas, 80% of whom were women. Now, even though I had an accomplished history and I'm clearly a smart person, there's a lot of similarities in the political world and the startup world. There's also a lot of differences. In the political world, we have to express a vision and bring people to the table and grow something from nothing. But the differences are significant as well. In the political world and social justice world, we talk about field campaigns. Where in the startup world and business world, we talk about go-to-market strategies. We talk about building coalitions, where we talk about partnerships and mergers and acquisitions. The financial models are different, right? The investors expect different returns, and in the business world, we got to add in profit in Texas, right? So things are a little bit different. And on a more serious and personal note, when I came from the social justice world into the world of business, I knew I was contending with something different: the myth of meritocracy. In the social justice world, we know and operate on a foundation that we acknowledge inequities. And that is what we build on top of. Versus in this world where some of us are still trying to figure that out. So coming into the world of DivInc, I found a home and also learned how to navigate the language and conversations about how when we weren't included in the way things are designed in the world, it's also okay to talk about how we're specifically excluded from those designs. This affects, as you all know, what innovators get funded, what innovations come to market, and the effectiveness, friction, health, well-being, and wealth certain kinds of people get to experience as they move through the world. As I stand before you to introduce this next company, it's worth restating that this is what DivInc does. Through its programming, mentors, investors, partners, networks, and mentors, it's a family and a network of those who came before us. DivInc bridges the gap for smart and daring people like me and many people in this room. To be who we, that's right. And it provides a home for us to be real about who we are and what we can accomplish in a world that wasn't designed for us. And that's hard to do, y'all. Accelerators are hard, social justice is hard, advancing equity is hard, and DivInc is putting that all together. So everyone in this room who is supporting this mission, know that you're doing hard work. So while I no longer have my startup, I have a life that I couldn't have foreseen before I joined DivInc. I mentor startup founders every day through my position as an entrepreneur in residence with Techstars in their equity and tech division. And I'm in a cutting-edge program at the London School of Economics to build social justice through entrepreneurship. And I'm bringing some of those learnings right here to Texas from across the pond that I know. Frankie, where you? I've already signed you up for things. Alice Navarro, husband and financier, husband of former startup founder DivInc alum Tarika, who is wonderful. I don't know where she is tonight, but lovely. So it's a family effort that we're continuing to build on. So why am I telling you all this right now? It's because of who we are and where we came from and who sees us that really matters. Being seen and known helps us chart a path forward and contribute to a new future full of unique talents and points of view. And that's why we're here. And it's a great segue to introduce Misha Redridge, founder and CEO of Kinkofa. Through Kinkofa, Misha leads a movement of profits and purpose to help Black people find their roots, their ancestors, their stories, And in doing so, she helps Black people and their families find peace, joy, knowing, and belonging. That's right. That she helps her customers find themselves, and that is really moving. Misha's born for this. She is an incredible founder market fit. She hails from Dallas by way of the African diaspora. She's a serial entrepreneur with experience growing multiple consumer tech startups, and because of her work in international relations, African and African American studies, and reconnecting Black people for more than 10 years, she has experience in Ghana and Rwanda from over a decade of in-country experience, including serving the First Lady of Rwanda. It would be inaccurate and diminishing to say that Kinkofa is 23andMe but for Black people. Because as we all know, equity is not something that is bolted on as an afterthought. As we say in social justice, nothing about us without us. So over the past few months, I've had the absolute pleasure to work with and learn from Misha and her co-founder, Jordan. And I'm totally blown away that they have already made more than 16,000 connections for Black people to their roots. And they're only going to explode when they launch their new platform on June. So there's one final thing I want us to hold as Misha begins to take the stage. As everyone in this room knows, people of color are the global majority, and the reality of the world today is that people are on the move. They're migrating by choice, through conflict, or because of climate. So there's no question that Kinkofa stands to meet a huge market opportunity. And as you hear Misha share, I want to invite you to make it personal, to think about your own family history and ask yourself, what is knowing where I come from, where I belong, and who I am worth to me?
I don't hear this. 47 million Black folks don't have access to their family history. That's larger than the populations of Texas and Illinois combined. Black families were intentionally separated, our histories erased and hidden. Despite this, the search for that history began many generations ago and continues today. Black folks are spending over $3 billion annually in search of their family history. But the current solutions aren't cutting it. That's because the experience looks just like this, seriously. In fact, 36% of folks have tried multiple tools to try to figure this out. This leads to fruitless searches and tons of wasted time and money. On the flip side, though, African Americans have driven collective national interest and demand for genealogy products since the 1977 release of Roots. It's about dang time that someone created a solution that centers the unique needs and desires of Black folks. Hi, I'm Misha, co-founder and CEO of Kinkofa, and we've made it our mission to help Black folks go and get their kin, literally. We are the only intentionally designed platform to reunify Black families. We make it easier than ever for Black folks to uncover their family history. Our members are able to do things like collaborate on family tree building in real time, plan and organize their research, find and connect with relatives using DNA, and preserve family stories. In doing so, we're taking the entire experience from siloed and chaotic to ridiculously collaborative and even fun. We're nailing product market fit straight out the blocks. We've already run a community of over 5,000 people. Hosted over 350 virtual events featuring renowned folks like renowned genealogist Dr. Shelley Murphy.
And by bringing our communities together, we facilitate intergenerational knowledge sharing and connection that leads to epic occurrences like this. In less than 2 hours, we were able to help Callie knock down a 20-year brick wall in her research, find her great-grandmother, and trace her family back to 1840. If you don't know, that's a really big deal because most Black folks can't trace back before 1870. And as you heard earlier, by piloting our genetic database, we've already enabled 16,000 reconnections. Now, obviously, family history is not a new business. Companies like Ancestry have already had massive success. However, they've only focused on the facts and the figures and records. And in doing so, they overlook the unique experiences and traditions of Black folks. They're missing out on things like my Aunt Faye's favorite Soul Train dance. Or maybe your great-grandma's favorite pie recipe. Their loss is our $6 billion opportunity. And contrary to what our parents told us, money does grow on trees that can cover. The more and more folks we help extend their family trees, we get to do well and do good. Our memberships start at $20 or one Harriet a month. And that unlocks a one-stop shop to uncover, record, and preserve Black family history. Soon, we're introducing our DNA testing to the market. In the future, we look forward to product development and partnerships to diversify our revenue streams as we grow. 150 years ago, our ancestors took out ads just like this. Today, we are using the power of DNA and technology to enable reunifications at scale. This summer, we're launching the Find My People campaign. We have 4 strategic partnerships in the pipeline. And by next spring, we'll have enabled 64,000 reconnections. Now, an opportunity like this requires a dope team with a shared experience and empathy to make it happen. As you heard earlier, I've already been working on this for 10 years in a different capacity. Jordan, my co-founder, also has 10 years of experience at consumer startups. And get this, we actually met on Clubhouse last year, bonded over our shared connection, bonded over our shared journey to uncover our family history, piloted the genetic database, and then learned that we're cousins. We're backed by this amazing team of advisors. And now this is where you come in. So here's how you can pull up. If you're one of the 30 million folks that have already DNA tested, no matter your background, you can upload your DNA file to our genetic database and help us reconnect more families. If you're web curious, you can help us keep Black history from going extinct by joining Preserve the Culture DAO, or you can just tell your friends about us. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to connecting after.
Thank you so much, Nisha. All right, we've got one more pitch left tonight, and I'm so excited for y'all to meet Sumeda. To introduce her, we have Suresh Sundar Babu.
Good evening. We're running ahead of schedule too. So I get about 8 minutes. First of all, what an inspiring group of founders. I mean, I don't think I had any of the thought process. So I'm thankful to be able to hear to support you guys in some way. Same way, inspirational founder, I'm here to introduce Sumeda and June. Every one of us have this problem or had this problem, whether we accept it or not. And you're going to hear about it. And she decided she's going to take that passion and do something about it. She has over 10 years of engineering, software engineering and product knowledge. And she wanted to just not just stay there and just help herself. She said she wants to change the world. So that's what she set about to do. It's also the last 2-3 months we know each other. Seems longer in a good way. she wants to learn. Very curious, very willing to learn, very willing to listen and make herself better. But at the same time, the thing I like about her is she stands up for herself and what she believes in. So that then allows us to give her our opinions, but to know that she will fight back if need be, if you're going to take her passion away. So without much further ado, Smita.
A few years back, this didn't happen. A few years back, I was told I was depressed. As an engineer, logic I had learned, but emotions, not so much. So when I was high performing at work, socializing with my friends, and yet broke down in the parking lot of Walmart, I couldn't understand it. Neither did I feel comfortable sharing. After over 10,000 hours of mindfulness training, I had learned that emotions and mindset can be trained. And whether you know it or not, you're always training. I've led mindfulness trainings at companies, from startups to Fortune 500. And I've learned that these stories of stress, anxiety, and burnout are literally everywhere. They make it to the headlines, but are not shared with the person sitting next to you. Cost to US businesses, over $300 billion annually in workplace stress before COVID. Actually, 80% of workers are feeling stress on their job. Half of them are going to quit because of it. So I did what I know to do best, build products to bridge gaps. Using our MVP, employees can set reminders to pause and reflect on their well-being. These reminders, designed with the help of a psychologist, help them shift out of autopilot into identifying how are they truly feeling and microjournal their thoughts. Over time, they can see their aggregate insights and course correct more often. We also share the aggregate insights, aggregate only, in a safe way with the managers so that managers can keep a pulse on team morale and support their employees. Through the process of building the MVP, I learned I'm decent at sales. We were able to launch 1 month free trials at 6 companies, and 50% of them bought a 6 to 12 month subscription after. Putting the product in the hands of the customers was the best thing we could have done because we learned so much. We learned that employees really liked simple daily habits that they could practice during work hours, and managers liked real-time insights that led to meaningful conversations, and the fact that their employees liked it. This email from an employee to a manager literally made my day when she talked about how Quimby helped her manage work-life balance while working remotely. Another interesting thing we learned was that most of these managers were already using an employee engagement app to send surveys to employees. They were getting long-term trends, leadership, dashboards, and a variety of metrics to keep a pulse on, which was great, but they were not getting anything actionable for the employees, real-time insights, or an opportunity to have meaningful, deep conversations. And this is where Quimby was complementing their existing set of tools. Based on all of these learnings, we're building Quimby to be the first employee engagement platform that puts employees in the driver's seat. How? Simple daily habits that can be scheduled during work hours, empower them with insights from their productivity tools so they can be proactive and productive, and actionable insights for managers that are rooted in the day-to-day of an employee. Through this process, we also learned what kind of managers were finding Quimby's MVP most valuable and identified our early adopters, and that influenced our go-to-market strategy. Based on what we have learned, if we just capture our early adopters, that's $350 million. But the opportunity doesn't stop there. The total employee engagement market is $74.3 billion and growing. In the last 2 weeks, we set out to learn and de-risk. Are managers the right target customers? So we surveyed 67 of them and asked, would you be willing to pay for a tool like ours? 80% of them said yes. With our demonstrated conversion rates, their depicted team sizes, and company sizes, that's an immediate opportunity to serve 80,000 employees. That's $400,000 per month. I'm sure you want to learn now the math behind this. So we charge a fixed onboarding fee and a nominal subscription fee per employee per month, which varies as the team scales. But one of the most important things that I've learned is that the bigger the vision, the more people have to come together to make it happen. I'm very grateful for this hands-on team of advisors who bring in 50+ years of experience in product, marketing, engineering, sales, strategy, including a renowned psychologist from UT Austin and leadership from Insights Group, the leading employee development platform globally. We have partnered with Automation Work. The talented engineers there have built products for many startups and are helping us go to market. We're building our community. We're looking to add team members, advisors, and our community of customers. So if you're one of them, you know one of them, you want to learn more, or want to just bust a Bollywood dance move, come find me after. I really appreciate you all taking the time to listen to all of us. Thank you. I had to get my own walk-on song at some point. All right, now that concludes their pitches for this evening. Thank you all so much again. Give it up one more time. I have had the incredible opportunity to work so closely with these founders over the last 12 weeks. It has been an amazing time, and honestly, I've got the pictures to prove it. We have fun together. Samantha said something there at the end that really resonated, a theme that's been repeated throughout the entire night. The bigger the vision, the more people you need to support it. Again, this evening would not be possible without all of our community. That's all of you right now sitting in the audience. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I do want to give a special shout out to some people. I think they're probably running around doing stuff. Brooke Turner, our VP. Mikey Brown, our program coordinator. The rest of our giving staff who is here also running around. Operations here. We also want to give a special shout out, and I'm sure the founders feel this all as well. My significant other has been so helpful over the last 12 weeks. He's pointing to himself. My mom is here as well. I'm sorry I couldn't text you back. I also want to make sure I give another shout out to our sponsors this evening. Our title sponsor, Ascension Seton, Bank of America, Verizon, and Visible. I also want to give a shout out to our community sponsors, Indeed, and Amazing Entertainment, for being here. And again, when it comes to community, DivInc does not lack. It is the one thing that I'm so proud to be a part of. I'm so proud to be standing on this stage to be part of this community. If you are a mentor, a presenter, a community member that gave your time or expertise over the last 12 weeks, please stand up so we can recognize you now. And before we close out this evening, I am super excited because I get to do this all over again in the fall, and it's super exciting to me. So let's look forward a little bit and think about the next round of founders that I have the opportunity to work with, that our community can uplift together. I'm so excited to announce our Austin Fall 2022 Accelerator, Emerging Tech. DivInc is ready to support the next round of early stage tech innovators across all industries, including those working in Web 2 and Web 3 technologies. And if you're interested in learning more about our program in the fall, please reach out to divinc.org/apply or find a DivInc staff member. Again, that concludes our programming for this evening. Please,
I know, I'm messing up the script. Alyssa, come here, Naisha. So y'all, this team is just amazing. Can please they work tirelessly and they love every moment, even when we have moments that are not so fun. We laugh and we realize how lucky we are to get to do what we do. So a little bath bomb and like, I don't know, organic wine of some kind. And I know that the cohort is
for me up, I have a script. All right, y'all. I'm so excited. Let's keep the celebration going. Please take the rest of the evening to get to know more about these founders. They'll be at tables. You can find them around the perimeter of the room. And we are also going to keep the celebration going afterwards, because if y'all know DivInc, y'all know we're not done here yet. So join us at 8 o'clock. We'll head over to Parlor and Yard, just a few blocks away. It's a quick walk over there. Promise we'll all have a good time. So founders, hang tight here. We're going to get a photo up on the stage. For everyone else, please enjoy your evening. Grab drinks, grab snacks. And thank y'all so much for being here today. Thank you. Thank you for watching.